I never meant to become the man who desired his neighbor's wife. My name's Daniel, 35 years old, divorced once, software engineer, living in a quiet suburban street in Miami. The house next to mine had been empty for months until one sunny Saturday in March, a moving truck pulled up. That's when I first saw her. Her name is Camila, 29 years old, Brazilian, the kind of deep, rich morena skin that glows golden in the sunlight, smooth, flawless, like warm caramel. Long, jet-black, wavy hair that falls past her shoulders, almost to her waist. Dark brown eyes that seem to hold secrets. Full lips, high cheekbones, and a smile that could stop traffic. Her body, God, her body, curvy in all the right places, wide hips, small waist, full breasts, thick thighs that filled out every pair of jeans she wore. She moved with confidence, laughing loudly as she directed the movers, wearing cut-off denim shorts and a simple white tank top that clung to her skin in the Florida heat. Her husband, Victor, is 42. Tall, successful real estate guy, always in suits, always on the phone. Nice enough, we waved hello a few times, but he traveled constantly. 3-4 days a week he was gone for work. Camila and I became friendly fast. I helped carry a few boxes the day they moved in. She thanked me with fresh brigadeiros she'd made herself, sweet, chocolatey, just like her accent when she said, "Obrigada, Danielle." After that, we'd chat over the fence when we were both in the backyard. She loved gardening. I pretended to know about plants just to have an excuse to talk to her. The conversations got longer. She told me about growing up in Sao Paulo, how she met Victor on vacation in Rio, how they moved to the U.S. for his job. I told her about my divorce, how lonely the house felt sometimes. She listened like no one else did, head tilted, eyes locked on mine, nodding slowly. Summer came and the heat turned brutal. One afternoon, I was out by my pool trying to cool off when I heard splashing next door. I glanced over the fence, and there she was, alone, in a tiny red bikini, swimming slow laps. Her dark skin glistened with water. Droplets ran down her back, over the curve of her hips. She saw me watching and waved, smiling. "Come join me if you want. Victor's in New York till Friday." I hesitated for half a second. Then I was over the fence. We swam, talked, laughed. She floated on her back, hair spreading like ink in the water. I couldn't stop looking at her. When she climbed out, water streaming down her body, she wrapped a towel around herself and said, "You're sweet, Daniel. Victor never has time for this anymore." That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about her smile, her voice, the way her wet bikini clung to every curve. The next time Victor left town, Tuesday to Thursday, she texted me at 10 p.m. "Can you come over? I made caipirinhas and I'm bored." I went. We sat on her patio under string lights, drinking strong lime cocktails, music playing softly, Brazilian funk mixed with old bossa nova. She wore a light sundress, thin straps, the fabric hugging her body. We talked for hours about life, dreams, things we missed from home. At some point, her bare foot brushed my leg under the table. She didn't move it away. The air felt electric. She looked at me over the rim of her glass and said quietly, "Can you think about me, Danielle, when you're alone?" I told the truth, every day. She stood up, walked around the table, and sat on my lap. Her arms went around my neck. Her lips found mine. The kiss was slow at first, soft, testing, then deeper, hungrier. Her body pressed against me, warm and soft and perfect. My hands slid up her back, into her thick hair. We kissed like teenagers for what felt like hours out there under the stars. When we finally pulled apart, she whispered, "We shouldn't, but I don't want to stop." We didn't go further that night, but we both knew it was only a matter of time. Over the next 4 months, whenever Victor traveled, which was often, Camila and I found ways to be together. Sometimes it was just stolen moments. A quick kiss behind the garage when we both took out the trash. Her slipping into my house for coffee in the morning while pretending to borrow sugar. Late-night texts that turned into long calls when Victor was asleep in some hotel far away. But other times, we had whole nights. The first time we went all the way was in July during a thunderstorm. Victor was in Chicago. Power went out in the neighborhood. Camila knocked on my door at midnight holding a candle, wearing only an oversized t-shirt and panties. "I'm scared of thunder," she lied, smiling. I pulled her inside. We didn't make it past the living room. Clothes came off slowly, piece by piece. I kissed every inch of her beautiful morena skin, her neck, her shoulders, down her back, the curve of her waist, the softness of her thighs. She moaned my name softly, fingers in my hair. When we finally came together, it was slow and intense, on the rug front of the couch, lightning flashing through the windows. Afterward, she lay on my chest, tracing circles on my skin, whispering, "I've wanted this for so long." We became addicted to each other. We had rules to stay safe. Never when Victor was home, no marks that showed, delete all messages, always act normal in front of others. But the risk made everything more intense. There were close calls. One morning, Victor came home a day early. Camila was still in my bed, asleep in my arms. We heard his car in their driveway at 7 a.m. Panic! She jumped up, threw on my t-shirt and her panties, ran out the back door and over the fence like a ninja. I watched from the window as she walked into her house 10 minutes later in yoga clothes, pretending she'd been for a run. Victor kissed her hello. She smiled at him, then glanced at my window and gave the tiniest smirk. Another time we were in her pool in the afternoon. She was on a float, I was swimming. We started kissing in the water, hands everywhere. Suddenly Victor's car pulled up. He'd forgotten his laptop. She pushed me under the water, held me down playfully until he went inside, grabbed his computer, and left again. When I came up gasping, she was laughing so hard she almost fell off the float. We fell in love. Real, deep, can't imagine life without you love. She told me she'd never felt this way with Victor, that their marriage had been comfortable, safe, but never passionate. I told her that I'd never felt so alive. We started talking about the future, about leaving our spouses, about running away together, about building a life where we didn't have to hide. But reality always found a way to remind us. In late October, Victor got promoted. Less travel, more time at home. Our stolen moments became rare. We'd go weeks without touching. The longing became painful. Then came the night when everything almost ended. Victor was home, but he'd fallen asleep early on the couch watching football. Camila texted me at 11 p.m. "He's out cold. Come to the backyard." I went. She was waiting by the fence in a silk robe. We kissed desperately like we were starving, hands under clothes, breathing hard, trying to stay quiet. Then we heard the sliding door open. Victor was awake, looking for her. She whispered, "Hide," and pushed me behind the bushes. I crouched in the dark, heart pounding. Victor stepped out, called her name. She walked toward him calmly, robe tied tight. "Couldn't sleep, amor, just getting some air." He believed her, went back inside. She waited 5 minutes, then came back to me. We didn't speak, just held each other in silence. That was the moment we both knew it had to stop. The next week, she told me in tears, "I can't keep doing this to him, and I can't keep hurting you by only giving me pieces of myself. We have to end it." I begged her to leave him. She cried harder. "I'm not strong enough, not yet." We agreed to stop. No more texts, no more glances, no more almosts. It's been 2 months now. Victor still travels sometimes. Camila still gardens. We still live next door. Sometimes I catch her looking out her window when she thinks I'm not watching. Sometimes I stand in my backyard longer than necessary, hoping she'll come out. We haven't spoken since that night, but every time I close my eyes, I see her dark skin glowing in candlelight, feel her body against me, hear her whispering my name, and I know she sees me too. Some loves aren't meant to last forever, but they change you forever. Some women, beautiful, morena, full of fire and softness, come into your life like a storm. They shake everything up, then they leave, and you're never the same. Camila was my storm, and I'll carry her with me always.